Kathy and Dixon.
And I'm Arlene Owen.
Welcome to Azar.
We want to welcome you to another episode of Azar, and you are seeing with us a handsome young man. And this man with us is Pastor Rolston Bodkin. So welcome, Pastor.
Thank you for having me this morning, and greetings to each and every one who are looking.
Okay, it's a pleasure to be in Enterprise.
Yes.
In Shogunas.
Yes.
That is. It's a pleasure to be here. And Ali, what's our topic for today?
Men want to be loved too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kathy, we are always speaking to the women, and we are always encouraging men to love your wife as Christ loved the church. And we are always saying, you know, woman, we want to be loved. You know, we are emotional. You know, care for us, husband, care for us. But you know, I met a man and he was saying, Arlene, men want to be loved too.
Yes.
So we are here with Pastor Bodkin, who know a lot on this topic.
Yes. So we have a barrage of questions for you. And
Yes.
we know that you are the ideal person.
Because Kathy and too, he has been married now, I think in the next few days it will be 27 years.
27 years.
This man
Yes.
have experience and he has 8 children.
Wow.
So he knows, and he has been counseling men and women, couples, young people all his life. Well, the life since you're a pastor,
Yes.
right? So we are speaking here with a man who have the experience, and we really want to hear and learn.
As we go along, yes.
Yeah.
So our first question to you, Pastor. When a man says that he loves you, speaking to a woman, what does he mean?
No, again, good morning. That is a very tricky question, because a man could say to a woman, I love you, but what he really means is that I'm interested in having sex with you. And then a man would say to a woman, I love you, meaning I am open up myself to you. And it is mainly what you put out that a man would give in. So for example, if you are just looking to go along for a ride, a man would say, I love you. But after that is where it ends. But then if you are looking for husband material, when a man says to you, I love you, then you start to look at something that is different.
Well, Pastor, how would I know the difference? You know, I'm a young person, and this man came to me and he said, I love you. How would I know that that love that he is saying is because he wants me to be his wife, or he realized, you know what, I could just, like we say in Trinidad, use this young person and just tag along? How to tell the difference?
Good question. Now, there are 2 types of women we are speaking to on this forum. We are looking at the unsaved woman, and we are looking at the woman who we say that are saved, quote unquote, who have given their lives to Christ. As long as a man says that he loves you, but he's not walking after the dictates of the Lord, then he loves you sexually.
Good. Mm-hmm.
But when a man says that he loves you, for example, in my church, the young ladies in my church, when I would be ministering and I recognize a guy has been coming to church more than once with a certain person, I ask you to stand and I address you in front of the church of your intentions for the young women in my church. So if I do that in my church, you can imagine what I do for my 2 daughters.
Yes.
But you need to know, because a lot of men, I love you for sex,
Yeah.
but I don't love you to be married. And I find too many young women in Christendom allow themselves to be used.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cry. Like I would go to churches and I would tell them, listen, I want somebody to give a testimony, but I'm fed up at the gangsters, and I'm fed up at the Rukuras and the baddest on them. I want someone to give me a testimony. I'm in my late 20s, I'm in my 30s, and I've not been touched. I've kept myself for a husband. Or a young man said, I've kept myself for a wife. And you find that very limited in the church circle.
So then, Pastor, we have to really speak to our young people, speak to the young ladies, and encourage them, probably give them some guidance, because sometimes according to the environment or what they know or what they were taught, they don't understand what this true love is. So it's important as a church that we teach our young ladies how they should be loved. You know, not to, like you said, don't allow a young guy to come in their life and like we say, touch them up and do things and then leave them. And they must understand that who they are and that their body is the temple of God and they are called to live this life.
Yes, but it goes a little further. For example, we know in the scripture it said that the older women are supposed to teach the younger women.
Yes.
But there are a lot of young women who don't want to be taught by older women.
So
That's
very true.
You know, they say, but you don't do this already and you pass you that. And that is why they have no experience to teach you. But what happens is because even young men, even because of that, and there are some pastors that are fearful to come out and speak with their young people about sex, about dating, about relationships, and we take it for granted that a lot of them know where they are, and only when they fall then we realize they really did not know.
Right.
So they need to take a kind of hands-on approach, and most people say about it that you're kind of forward and fast, but if you need your congregation to walk right, then you have to make sure that you are leading them where they're supposed to walk.
Yeah. So we're going back again. Thanks for that. You know, because men want to be loved. We want to know how to love men, Pastor. We want as women to do this loving right. You know, and we have a next one. So when a woman now tells a man that, I love you, like when I tell Martin I love you, what is he really hearing?
No, I believe women and men are made up differently.
Agreed.
I usually tell people because men were made from the dirt, men hard.
Yes.
So for a man to say I love you and really mean that I love you, I love everything about you, I love the way you speak, I love the way you carry about yourself, your deportment, I love the way you dress. When you get a man who loves you in that manner wholeheartedly, it is a good thing. But women are taken from the flesh, they're taken from the men. So it is easier for a woman to love. I remember when I was in Bible school, plenty years ago, I remember there was a cat in Bible school, and I put the cat straight over the road on top of a building, and all the ladies in Bible school were angry. And the cat just dropped on his feet on the roof and went its way. And that's how men are. Men just brap. Women are different.
So what do they hear? If I say, I love you, like when your wife say, Pastor, I love you, what are you hearing?
Now that I'm saved, I'm hearing my wife loved me how God intended me to be loved. Before I was saved, I was hearing
Different things. Yeah.
food.
Yes. We got you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, another question for you, Pastor. We know that we all have our own love language, whether male or female, right? Generally. But how does a man want to be loved? I know you've been counseling men for years, couples, and you would have been privy to things that many heirs would not be privy to. How does a man want to be loved?
Most men that I've dealt with, when you start to speak love language, most men are not really overtaken in being given gifts. Most men love to be touched and love to be told. So the more you speak to a man about how you love him, or the manner of love that you give to him, it draws a man closer to you, because he is so moved by words of comfort that he kind of opens himself to you. But we need to be careful also, Because men are creatures of habit. And you could give a man a habit that becomes part of his reality. For example, whatever you allow is allowed.
Yes.
So you can allow a man to have a bad habit, and then 5, 6, 7 years down the road, you try to break it, and it is not easily broken, because the man feels it is not a habit, this is me.
Yeah.
I am accustomed with this, and because I'm accustomed with this, I will continue to live like that.
Yeah.
But a woman now tells herself, I allow you to do that before, but I expect you to change down the road, and that don't usually happen.
Wow.
So I like the point that you said that men want to be told that I love you, nice words, because men hardly converse, they hardly speak, Pastor. And to hear you say no, they hardly speak, they hardly say it, but they want you to tell them. So that was nice to hear that although they may not speak much in the house, they still want to know and hear from you that, hon, I love you, and to give them encouraging words and touch. Because you will always see the husband touching the wife. He might pass and touch the wife's hand, touch the wife different places, and you will say, well, that is for the man to do. But knowing and hearing it from you now that the man also, your husband also want to be touched, give a hug, rub a head, touch her hair. It is nice knowledge to know that men also feel this way.
Yeah, because you see, a lot of women tell themselves, men rough.
Yeah.
But I've found that the rougher the man is, the more gentle he is on the inside.
Aside.
So, for example, when a woman would dress and look at her husband and say, how I looking? And some men might just feel, if I say, all right, but a woman really looks for your support, how I look. And it's the same thing with a man. A man would appreciate that his wife or his girlfriend looks at him and says, oh, gosh, boy,
you look good.
I like how you're looking in that pants. I like how that shirt just fits you. I like when you see that shoes. Boy, every time you dress a certain way, either men love that, but some women just, like some men, most men as a matter of fact, oh, looking good.
Yeah. Because see, we didn't know, Pastor, that you all want to hear that. We really didn't know, and that's why we are really here to learn. So, women, let's remember to tell our husband that they're looking good, the shirt fitting them good, they love the shoes. When you see them walk out with that shoes, let us remember to talk and say some things.
Yeah, and Pastor,
right.
it's what you're saying there, I want to piggyback on it because over time I have observed that really men bloom under compliments just like a child would.
That's right. That's right. And but even this, and this might be kind of controversial, but all you know me, I like controversy. Even in telling a man, a woman needs to know when to hush.
Yeah.
Even when telling them good things?
Yeah, you need to know when to hush. Sometimes we take it too far. You take it too far. And it comes over to a man, one, you're nagging.
Saying a good thing like you're
Yes.
looking nice?
Give us an example.
All right.
Pastor.
For example, I am dressed to go out with you. You told no, woman different. Eh? You told me last week when we were going up, I like that shoe. And you see that pants, boy, oh cool, but how does fit you? So I dress again in the same shoe and pants, and you look at me and say, I will look at what?
Yeah, because we know you have other shirts.
Yeah, but you tell me that is what you like.
So you wear it again.
I would wear it again because that is what you like. You see, you need to come to me now. And sometimes it takes some intuition from a woman. You go and buy something for a man just as though you expect a man to buy something for you. Because you come into a relationship and most women don't come in nothing. They come expecting a man to give. And when you ask, then what are you giving? They have nothing to give in the relationship. Me. And he get me.
That's
and
true.
You get me.
That's true. I agree with you because we were taught. Remember, we were growing up. All these stories we learn and read in books is that a prince will come and save us.
With the white horse and ride off into the sunset.
Sunset,
So
yes.
all we know, we just have to sit here and be beautiful. So that's why we have you here today.
Trouble.
That is really good. So we have to know when to hush, even when giving the compliment.
Yes.
And I wouldn't say it's when giving the compliment. I said
After giving the
after giving the
Yeah.
compliment.
Okay.
Because everybody loves a compliment.
Yes.
Because it's encouraging. But if it's after you've complimented, then after you come with something that dry after that could affect. In this example that he gave, that was discouraging thereafter.
Good.
Is it true that men prefer women who act helpless, unlike a woman who is strong and assertive?
Not in 2023. maybe long time when my grandmother and they were coming up. But now a man looks for a woman who he believes could also assist him. Because there's going to be some downtime for men. For example, a simple thing in counseling, I tell women, a man's money is your money. And your money is your money. If as a man, if you don't believe that, when you get married, you will still try it. But a man loves when a woman could step up and say, babe, I have this.
And assist.
I will do this. I will help you out there. It must not be always that, honey, well, you're the man, you're supposed to. Who tell you that? We have grown with some principles that is not godly.
Yeah.
Yes, the man's supposed to provide. But if I am at a time financially embarrassed, why would you try to embarrass me even more?
Yeah.
I got you.
You know, Pastor, I really like that point because I listened to this preacher, Reverend Funky, and she was speaking to women. And she said that we are looking for a man to do everything for us. And she said, he's not El Shaddai, else he shall die.
That's
because
right.
he cannot do everything. And she was encouraging us to be the helpmeet, help him financially, help him in every area we could, because this is what we were called to do as wives.
That is true. I remember one time, no, I've been married 26, going on 27 years next week. My wife have never thrown away the garbage in my house. I believe that is not my wife's duty. And when our children started to get older, they are the ones who are in charge of garbage. I don't even throw garbage anymore. There was a time I lost my job and my wife paid our mortgage, I think for either 5 or 6 months. But as I was gainfully employed again, I took back that mantle from my wife. Because I personally don't believe that is my wife's responsibility so to do. But I have no problem in a woman saying to a man, but both of us are working. So husband, let me assist you in giving you a portion towards the mortgage or any other thing where we paying bill. I don't feel a woman should just rock back and say, listen, my money is for me alone, and he's supposed to pay groceries, he's supposed to pay the car loan, he's supposed to pay utilities, he's supposed to pay mortgage, he's supposed to, that's right. When I don't have, who is going to see about it?
And Pastor, in doing so, the man in the house could really sit back and say, I don't feel loved, I don't feel cherished, because yes, I am the man, but I'm not getting any assistance from you. The person who say, I love you. What type of love is that?
But you see, some of us men have been taught the wrong things even in church for years. For example, in Ephesians, when it says to the woman, the man is your head. So surrender to your husband. What the word literally says, the word submit comes from 2 words, to be submerged and also made from the mission. So a woman is to submit to the mission of the man or the man to whom she's going to get married. That is why we as believers we try to tell our people that they ought not to be unequally yoked together with an unbeliever. Because if you're yoked to someone who has no mission, then how do you submit to the mission of the man? And a man will get up and boast about he's the head of the home and he's the head of the woman and I am Lord over you. I tell people, the women in my church, that Jesus Christ is your Lord, not your husband. Your husband may be your head because God deals with headship, but he's not your Savior and Lord.
Yeah.
And men have run with that idea for years, as though when they say to a woman, jump, all she must ask is how high. Totally disagree.
Totally disagree. Yes. Yeah. Pastor, my next question for you is, what spells respect to a man? Because the same men want to be respected, not so much loved, but respected. And sometimes as women we miss it.
How you speak to a man. Before I was saved, I told people that if I'm liming, I don't want no one who can lime with me. I don't want a girl who does drink with me. I don't want a girl who does smoke with me. I don't want a girl who does cuss more than me. I don't want a woman that will meet me in the road and speak to me in a manner that would disrespect me.
Yeah.
I feel when you come into a relationship, a man must begin to know a woman holistically. And the woman must also know a man, in that I must be free to be me with my wife. And she must be free to be herself with me, and yet still not be fearful of things that is said and done. But then there are some times, and I know some people would not agree with it, but there are people who tend to tell you what you should do, and not understanding that they don't have that authority. Examples, I remember, I'm glad my wife in here. I was home one time and a friend came to visit my wife. And I was sitting there, just came on, just had food. And the friend walked in my house and said to my wife, I'm your baby, come let us out. Yes. And I looked at her and I put on the food. And I put my hand behind my head now and I rocked back in the chair. And when she realized I was looking at her, she said to me, so you she boss or what? She had asked you to go somewhere. And I said to her, I said, you feel I'm she man. When I was interested in her and I was tackling her, was she man? She could not do that. I am her husband. She cannot get up and walk out of my house. Just so? No, man. She said, so you have to have your permission. I said, no, but she has to let me know where she wants to go. And the talk continued, and then I said to the lady, listen, this is the second time you came in my house. She said, no, this is the first time I come. I said, no, twice. And she how? I said, this is the first time? And this is the last time. Don't come.
So, Pastor Bodkin, that was very disrespectful of her. And if your wife did it, it would have been disrespectful of your wife to just go with your friend, leave, and not say to you that I am leaving to go down the road. And that is one way men want to be respected. At least, well, not at least, you should, as a woman, inform your husband what are you doing, where are you going, and don't just take up yourself and go, because it is a sign of disrespect.
Yes, and a lot of women do say, I'm not a child, I don't have to tell him that. But it's not that you're not a child. When you entered into this covenant, both persons are more or less, there is a responsibility towards each other. And we love each other. We want to know that we're safe. And it takes nothing. It's accountability. It takes nothing to say, babes, I'm going down in town to buy a piece of clothes. If you have to keep hiding everywhere you go, then it's kind of questionable.
That's right. And not only so, you see what happens, a lot of times the married women have a lot of unmarried friends.
True.
Yes.
And the unmarried friends who have no husband or man usually try to dictate to the married woman what to do.
Yes.
For example, I told you all earlier when the program started that giving habits that you can't change. For example, Marceline comes home for the last 10 years. Marceline finishes work at 4:30. And most of the time, Marceline reaches home by 5:30, 5:45, 5:45. And a little while after, Marcelin's wife hots his food and brings it out for him, and he enjoys a hot meal. And then her friend comes one day, and Marceline comes home, and Marceline asks for his food, and the friend turns to Marcelin's wife and says, something wrong with the hand?
Yeah.
He hand pork.
Yes.
So you know in your stupidity,
Yes.
says to your husband,
Your hand.
something wrong with your hand.
Yes.
No, I'm not advocating violence. Hear me, this is not what Pastor Bodkin saying. But men are foolish. And when you start to act in that manner, a man acts in a manner to reciprocate what you said. It may be that he will decide he's not giving you any money, or it just may be he might grab you by your neck. And the same person who gave you that advice, gone and leave you there.
Yeah.
So women, we need to be careful and understand our homes must not be dictated by other people from the outside that has nothing good to give to us in our marriage.
Yes, I was just going to say that, as women, we have to be careful who we have as friends.
Yeah.
Because they would give advice to suit who they are. And if you know with someone who is willy-nilly and fly-by-night all how, then that's the kind of counsel that I will give you.
That's right.
And especially if you are a Christian woman, you should be getting godly counsel. So we really should cherish the counsel of good friends like my cousin here, Arlene, my friend Arlene here. I know if there's anything that I could talk to her, she would always tell me something that is positive, that is biblical, and that will encourage harmony in my relationship.
That's right. And you also need to be aware of the friend that given advice, maybe giving you advice to move you out of your relationship with your husband.
Yes.
That they could move in it.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have witnessed that on 2 occasions with people who I know close Pastor Bodkin, where the best friend took up residence as the mistress of the house. And the wife actually had to leave. So really, we must be very careful.
Yes.
So that's why it's important, Pastor Bodkin, after hearing you and what Kathy Ann said, it's important for us to really love our men and cherish them.
That's right.
Because while misery like company,
Yeah.
while the single friend you have given you bad advice, after when you look, they remove you from your seat and
That's
your
right.
position.
Yes.
And sometimes they don't want your seat, but somebody gets it.
Yes.
And then you're on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So we have to really understand the love language of our husband and our
Yes.
men and love them.
Yeah.
Be careful of the voices that we hear. If it's
Yeah.
contrary to God's word or something that you know your husband don't like, don't do it.
Yeah.
And we talk about being disrespectful to our men, Pastor, by what we say as women. Could you share another way we can be disrespectful to our husband?
But how we dress. Now, I'm speaking this to Christian women. The Word of God tells women that they ought to dress modestly.
Yeah.
I have 6 sons. I have my last 2 sons are for my married wife. And when my wife is leaving the house, my last son would look at her and ask her, you going out with that? And he come and say, Daddy, you ain't see so and so. He said, Daddy, you agree with that? I said, nah, take it off. Now some people may find, well, look, how you could just, because if I find it's inappropriate for my wife to wear, then you have to take it off. There are some things that my wife could only wear in the house.
But Pastor Bodkin, somebody hearing this, they will say you're dictating your wife peace. I mean, she know God, she have the Holy Spirit with her. Why it is you have to tell her, take that off?
Because they don't live with me. And sometimes you may feel, like for example, thank you Lord, I would pick up a jersey to go outside and have a little hole. And my wife would make noise. But the neighbors seen you are a big person, they see you. And I said, where you feel like going? It's in the yard. And she said, yeah, but you could put on something better than that.
Yeah.
So in the same way, I look at my wife and I say, babe, I don't like how you dress.
Yes.
Because I'm seeing certain things I'm not supposed to see.
Yeah.
So you need to change it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're a man who tells yourself that you're a man of God, then you need to be able to rule your family well.
Yes.
And if you can rule your household, then crap or smoke your pipe.
So then you are saying for us as women to respect when our husband asks us to change what we have on, especially if they are a man of God. And sometimes, Pastor, the truth is you see it. And you know sometimes the man of God, they are uncomfortable with their wife because you know the man and you know he really would not appreciate this outfit or he didn't appreciate this outfit. And you see wives who say, I don't care what you think, I'm wearing it. But I like this point for us as women. If we say we love our husband, let's show them respect by what we wear.
That's
as
right.
you said.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, why this topic is a strange one is because some women may say, well, he only wants me to wear frumpy clothes because he don't want no other man to watch me. But I get where Pastor is coming from.
Yeah.
In that sometimes we could misrepresent.
Yes.
In no way he hinted that it was frumpy clothes and he wants us to look like
Old
if
and
we
haggard,
old
no.
and haggard. It's that we really should want what our husband likes.
Yeah.
That's right. And another thing for the men, because I know it's about women need to be loved.
Men need
Men.
to.
Men need to be loved.
Yes.
Most men, let me change that. There are men whose wife will go and do their hair, will do their nails, will go in the spa, will buy a new dress. And you would come home every day that they do something new, and you just pass. But there's a man by the corner will look at your wife and say, Miss Arlene, your new shoe, girl. And she said, well, you see that?
Yeah.
See, yesterday, Pastor, the new hairstyle, what going on, girl? And then the next day, I like that green dress, I'll never see it. Sooner or later, the man on the outside begins to befriend your wife because you don't want to befriend your wife. You don't want to tell your wife that she looks good. You don't want to tell your wife that she dresses good. You don't want to tell your wife that you appreciate what she's doing in the relationship for you.
Yes.
And other people says so to her.
Yeah, yeah.
So men, we need to be very careful
Yeah.
when our wives are going out on a limb to get our attention.